Ladies and gentlemen, it is another day and another rank 1 team coming at you. This is from Jacob Pada. I don't think that they have any YouTube, Twitch, no streaming accounts, but I will put a link to their Twitter. I've already pre-done it, so it is in there. They hit rank 1 with a rating of 3059, and it's going to be Annihilape lead with Lickitung and Cresselia in the back. Now, I didn't get the movesets from this person, so I just have to guess what they were. So I decided to go with the normal moveset for Annihilape in Great League, which is going to be Counter, Shadow Ball, and Night Slash. And then for Cresselia, we had gone over one of the videos before where we were basically saying that Cresselia kind of wants Moonblast more right now. So I decided to go for that Moonblast moveset with Grass Knot and then Psycho Cut. And then Lickitung is the normal Lick Body Slam and Power Whip. So let's go ahead and get into it. But first, if you haven't, definitely hit the subscribe button. It helps me out so much. But y'all have been supporting me so much. I just want to thank you so much for that. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into this one. I gotta find this video first. Alright, so leading into Galarian Stunfisk, not a mon we've seen too much this season, for sure. But it is a mon that I did think was going to be okay to good in this league this time around. But there is a lot of water right now. I don't know if that prediction's just falling flat, though, because there's so much Annihilape, there's so much for Alligator. It's probably not actually that good. So my beginning of season prediction for Galarian Stunfisk to be good, I think, is incorrect here. So let's start this video. And I gotta say, I did want to showcase this battle. I do win this one, but I play just so bad. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's just talk about what's happening here. So I switch actually really late into the Sableye. I don't know if I just didn't think about what I was doing, since this is my very first game with this team. And maybe I didn't think about my backline. I still don't know, even after reflecting afterwards, what I was thinking going into this match. I was like, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, they shielded, so I decided to shield. I thought I was going to be able to shield a return right there. Usually they're trying to go for some return. But Lickitung wins this matchup pretty normally. I think I can get it into Body Slam range, and then I think they actually ended up living this, so then I end up basically going down my other shield. Yeah, we're gonna get a little bit of farm, but it's not worth anything here. I think just kind of switched so slowly in his matchup. Could have had a shield advantage, could have had a switch advantage, could have had everything basically. But Annihilape wins this pretty easily, and then I don't know what I'm doing here either. I'm just staying in this matchup, and we actually end up CMPing, so it actually is worst case scenario. Yeah, again, I mean, this happens from time to time, even when I'm trying my absolute best. It's just like, I don't know if my brain was on autopilot, but I definitely play better in the future games, I promise y'all that. But basically at this point, I can take a lot of the Mantine damage. I don't want them to get to another move here. I am outside of Earthquake range. I am thinking about that. They have 2 or 3 mud shots here. Now they're at 4 or 3 or 4. And I just want to get as many Grass Knots as possible. Again, we don't die to an Earthquake, and it's questionable if we die to the Rock Slide afterwards. Probably we do. I have to go for a catch, and then also maybe there's enough health on Annihilape to really pressure something here. So I decided to go 1 before because they would have lost CMP to me. And then they throw a Rock Slide here, and that's just game because I'm 1 away. We win CMP as Cresselia. I'm 90% sure. And yeah, we end up winning this game anyways, just from a total alignment basically. But yeah, pretty bad play there. But now we're back in it. Lantern here has Water Gun. Again, Water Gun being the moveset to go for this season for sure after the Spark nerf. Yeah, unless, I don't even know. Yeah, I would definitely go Water Gun. I think even in the videos we've showcased a lot of Water Gun lanterns, I think 2. And haven't showcased a Spark Lantern yet, so that's got to say something. They end up staying in very long in the Lantern. They end up having their own Lickitung. This is kind of bad for me, as in they're going to win this switch no matter what. But it's also not that bad for me because look at this clock. It's more than halfway through for me, which means we probably have a 20-second head start on this, on their switch. And I'm throwing at some weird timings here just to maybe throw them off from when they want to throw. And then probably on the next time they throw, I'll switch into Annihilape, or I'll even catch. And I noticed that they were throwing at the exact same time every time. It was like right when we were 20% into our second body slam, they would always throw. So I try to catch on that timing, end up getting there. I can't let them just very well get to a power whip here, so I decided to throw the Night Slash. I also don't want them to switch. We have gained the switch advantage, but now the clock's weird for us. I did throw a move, so that did buy me 10 seconds. Our switch is going to buy us 10 more seconds. In the end, we really gained like 35, 40 seconds of momentum here. So our switch is going to be up here after the Moonblast, and I believe they're going to be at their move. This is almost always an Icy Wind, but we have shields. We might as well be using them. Wigglytuff is a fast move Pokemon, so we'd rather mitigate as much damage as possible, basically. We had way more energy than they remembered, I guess, because we did switch out of that matchup so late, and we had more energy than I remember because we had that Power Whip ready to go. All right, a Alolan Sandslash lead, pretty bad for them. Maybe I could have stayed in an Annihilape and get a little bit more energy here, but you know what? We're good for the fast switches now. We're just going to win these matchups. Azumarill, again, very easy matchup for Cresselia. When you have the bulk to outlast Azumarill's moves and they're neutral against you, that's when Azumarill's at its worst. It's still fine. It's decent. But I'm never in any real danger here. If they ever shield, we outpace, so I can shield as well. And if they don't shield, then we just win. So, it is questionable whether or not you want to come in with the Lickitung. But Lickitung has more neutral matchups possibly in the back with something like a Gligar, or just in general, it's neutral against a lot of things. So I'm fine leaving a very easy neutral matchup in the back, even if it's a losing neutral matchup, because we still have possibly shields with Annihilape. Annihilape still have max HP here. They do end up shielding, which is kind of weird. They're non-shadow, that's something to note. I end up going for the Night Slash here just to do some damage, and I'm not going to get put into a situation where I go for that Shadow Ball and CMPs, so I just wanted to go for the easy damage. We end up getting a shield. It's pretty much whatever at this point. I won't even need to shield Lickitung. Maybe I'll shield once, depending on what they do. They are Water Pulse, which is the best thing they could have. Does the most damage for energy. And but the thing is, I'm just willing to do one more Body Slam to this thing. I don't even care what it does, and we still have the shields for Annihilape to farm this down, basically, if it does get to that point. Again, since I have a one-turn move and they're not at a move, I can sneak in one lick before throwing my move, and that's what happens at the end of every charge attack that they throw. I do the one lick and throw. That's something that hopefully y'all are doing. If you're not, definitely do that. Another thing to note here is the Alolan Sandslash is not Shadow Claw. It is actually Powder Snow, which is fantastic for our Annihilape. Again, they don't have any energy on the Mantine, and we're also out of move, basically, so even if they did, we win CMP. This was a weird matchup, actually. I didn't want to throw Night Slash right away. I wanted to see how much energy I could get. You're obviously going to live one Scorching Sand. You probably don't live two. Hopefully I don't get the debuff. I think I didn't, but now I'm going to throw, and they're still in here, and I think I'm going to go for the Farm Down and a Shield, rather than throwing a Night Slash and hoping that KOs, because I actually don't think it will. The bunny is very bulky, very, very bulky. So I don't get attack dropped again. And now I have a Shadow Ball, which hopefully is going to be good against whatever comes in. It is a Mantine, so this is going to hit pretty hard. I think I will switch. Both of our matchups are fine in the back. And so if Annihilape is possibly good against some sort of Steel type, it actually somehow feels like a Bastiodon. No. You know what it feels like? It feels like it actually is a G-Fisk right here. But we'll see. Oh, well, one catch deserves another. I guess we caught the first Body Slam. Oh, they shielded. That's kind of weird because I would have thought if I was them that I caught, and there's no way I'm throwing a Power Whip into the Mantine. And then they let the Power Whip go. I'm going to come back in with Annihilape and just soak up this damage. And then we win CMP. I think if you remember from the last Annihilape video, I know it's been probably a few weeks, but our Annihilape is very terrible. So it actually wins CMP a lot of the time against the other Annihilapes. Not every time, sure, but I'm going to shield this. It's almost always a Night Slash, which is sad, but they're so low that I feel like I can farm down before they possibly get to a Shadow Ball. Maybe they can get to another. And then I'm just going to go for a double Grass Knot here. We're not too scared. The only thing is if they are at a Shadow Ball, which they're not because we've counted, we would be in Shadow Ball range now, which is pretty bad. But we're just going to go to double Grass Knot and throw. Trevenant, terrible lead, really terrible. But later on, if we gain energy, we can still hit this for super effective with the Night Slashes. So it's really good for us to switch into here. And they actually switch really late. The only thing I can think of is they have Feraligatr in the back. That would be my guess here, because you would never stay in Trevenant against Lickitung. It's just a horrific matchup. Now, I can't throw any charge attacks into it, but the lick damage is just insane, and I'm not taking any damage from the Shadow Claws either, so I'm dealing super effective. I'm double resisting. They end up coming in with a Lantern, and we already got all that extra farm from them trying to throw a Seed Bomb into the Lickitung. And then I'm just like, okay, I'm going to do as much damage as I can here. This actually wouldn't KO, but it would get it very low. And then I'll come in with Annihilape, and I probably will shield. They have a lot of energy. They have like 10 sparks worth of energy. So I just have to make sure that I have a lot of health here on the Annihilape, because we are going to be taking those Shadow Claws through the through that Trevenant. But it's okay, because we will outpace if they do decide to shield. And I actually didn't know this, but it makes a lot of sense. You do not win CMP against Trevenant. Trevenant is going to win CMP against Annihilape. So I go for CMP here. I mean, I just throw as soon as possible, but the CMP here is not that bad. Cresselia is probably good in the back. Again, we think it's a Feraligatr, which would be the worst case scenario. And then I decide I can try to farm this down. And I, you know, it could also be like a Whiscash. I'm not expecting something like a Skarmory. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Ends up being a Dugong, so yeah. Even though Dugong is bulky in the same sense as the Zoomerall, it is going to be taking super effective from these Grass Knots, and we still have a lot of HP on this Annihilape, so if they were ever to be able to take down Cresselia, which they definitely will never be able to do that before we take them down, I can still farm them down with Annihilape and then throw a Night Slash into the Trevenant. Wait, is Trevenant still alive? Yeah, Trevenant's still alive. So they try to get a little bit of extra farm, but we've obviously gained a lot of energy through that Trevenant matchup. So, and it was pretty over already. Skarmory in the lead. So this is good for Annihilape. It is going to cost you shields, and you do have to throw the Shadow Ball. But I wish I had waited a while and let them throw first, which I think I do in a later matchup. So this is the first time I'm seeing Skarmory in the lead, and I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, and I feel like now I do. I could have gained a little bit more energy. They come in with Goodra. I probably should have gone a 6 just to at least put the fear in them that I have Ice Punch. But now that I know that I've done a little bit of damage, I'm actually fine coming in with the Lickitung here and basically getting this down with bulk and then hoping that my Cresselia is good in the back. They do CMP me here, but it's actually fine because we were always going to have to farm down after this anyways. And them having Power Whip is a weird one. That is not the normal moveset. Usually it's Aqua Tail, Thunder Punch. They end up showing a Quagsire, and I'm just going to bait. I actually don't even go up to the Power Whip, but I'm pretty sure I do get the shield here, which is nice. And then I just go for the next Body Slam. I'm just trying to chip damage, basically, just to... Even though Cresselia is good in this matchup, I want there to be a world where I can just counter through this as well. And in that world, I just need to do as much damage as possible. So you'll see when I come in with the Cresselia, I actually don't even throw moves at this. I'm still fine just doing damage. I know they want to catch at some point, and if they ever catch, I'm going to throw Annihilape in there just to counter down. But I'm never throwing this move until I'm like at 100 energy. So... And then they just leave instantly. They try to catch, but at the same exact time as they try to catch, they actually just top left because they're like, oh, maybe I'm doing something here, but maybe not. And here's where we made the adjustment. I decided to let them throw first so that I can go infinite energy, and then Shadow Ball would be able to KO. End up throwing the Shadow Ball into this Dragalge. Is that the name of this? Dragalge? I guess it's algae because Yeah, Dragalge. Um, and then I just go for the massive farm down here, and I really should have come in with Lickitung. And I thought about that, and I already had made up in my mind, if the Shadow Ball lands, I'm coming in with Cresselia. If it doesn't land, I'm switching into Lickitung to outbulk this thing and then just get through it. But you're gonna see here, this is a pretty fatal mistake. But I don't know. End up going for these Moonblasts. I'm gonna try to get to a. I basically want to lower the attack to have a chance to actually survive through this. I guess if they won't be able to fast attack me down if I get the attack drop, right? So I do get the attack drop there. They're going to have to throw a move. Unfortunately, they're very close to getting to 2 moves here. So then it becomes a... If I come in with Annihilape and I try to CMP, they actually switch into Hakamo, which actually resists the Night Slash. So I end up switching right into Lickitung, and even though this is a fighting type, it's not the normal type. It's not the normal fighting type. It doesn't have any fighting attack moves, except for Brick Break. But we know that Brick Break is a low damage move, and it lowers your energy. It lowers your defense. But it's fine. We're not getting hit by super effective fast attacks, and actually going to be okay to throw this next Body Slam. I'm really hoping this goes through. I think they end up shielding this, and then they go for like a massive farm down. And I almost have enough bulk to make it to this Body Slam, but not quite. And now it's a question of, do I think Brick Break's coming? And I think it's actually just going to be double Dragon Claw, because it is more efficient to get to 2 of those. You only need 8 Dragon Tails, whereas you need 9 to go Dragon Claw and Brick Break. This team ended up having a regular Magnezone in the front, not the Shadow one, which is kind of weird as well. Oh, wait, is this the game where I really played terrible? No. Wait. I'm going to rewind this one really quick. Maybe this is the one where I played terrible. No, I switched really fast on this one. So this game became really hard. I do remember this one. This is a very tough game. I think I played pretty well, if I remember right. They decided to go for the foul play. It looks like everyone's going for foul plays instead of the returns, which is fine. It's definitely safer to go for the foul plays, but I do notice that a lot of them do go for just for the return. And then I ended up no shielding this one. I think this actually ended up being the return. No, it's a foul play. Okay, well, the next foul play doesn't technically KO, but I'm not going to risk it here. They were at 17. So they're 5 away from the next one. I think they were at 18, actually, which means they're 5 away from the next one. So I'm going to shield this, and then I think I can just go for the Body Slam after a lot of licks. And it should be enough. But I don't have a ton of energy for the Magnezone. Although I have a decent amount of HP, but they're going to be able to farm me all the way down. I will be able to get a Power Whip through, I believe. Pretty close, but I do get it. I think I actually end up leaving that Volt Switch, which is actually so terrible. They're going to be at 4 Volt Switch of energy. And I'm going to come back and Annihilape, but I guess we're really glad this is not the Shadow. I believe that from this, like 90% HP, we do live. They end up coming in with an Altaria, and this is where Moonblast is really giving us an edge. 2 of these will KO, which 2 future sites would KO as well. But we have the chance for a debuff, and it takes a lot less energy. So I can go up to another Moonblast by taking a second Sky Attack. So this is the first one, because I know I live the second Sky Attack, and then I want to make sure that I'm at least 3 away from the next Grass Knot so that I can outpace... Oh, well, I'd have to be like 1 away, actually, right? We'll see. I think this is going to be really close. I do end up getting there, and they try to go for the farm down, and if they get that farm down, we definitely lose. But they were technically at a mirror shot as well after 1, I believe, which means they could have CMP'd me onto a mirror shot. Oh, but then I would have won with an Annihilape, so yeah, great. All right, another Lantern lead. They actually switch into Lickitung. At first, you think this is good by them because they take a double resisted move here, but then I get a little bit, I get to get 5 counters worth of energy, then switch to my own Lickitung, and this is just an auto-win matchup. So, I remember my thinking in this game because this was an hour and a half ago, and I do remember thinking, I'm so far ahead of this guy, it's crazy. I'm going to throw my first one right away, and then I'm going to build, 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 build. I want to see what they do, if they try to go for a switch in, and then I want to have an infinite energy on this Lickitung because I don't need... I can take all these moves. I don't need to go for a KO right away. They end up going for the Power Whip, which is weird. They end up coming in with the Lantern, and I shield this, and I actually save the Power Whip and come right into Cresselia, knowing that a Grass Knot plus the farm will probably be enough here. Maybe it won't actually. I don't know. It'd be close. But I'm going to go for double Grass Knot here, and then I'm just going to throw one and then hope I can farm down. And then we can also see possibly what their last Mon is going to be. Remember, they still have a Lickitung in the back, but it has no energy. And now I have a ton of energy for this Feraligatr. Now, I think they make a mistake here, although it really doesn't matter. I have so many Pokemon left. Yeah, they don't throw the move. And also, you don't want to throw on CMP if you don't have to. You want to throw before, because if I get that CMP, I know for a fact I'm going to shield because I'm going to get both of your shields for it. They end up not shielding, and which means I don't have to throw the Power Whip, which is what I was going to go for. I ended up going for the Body Slam, and I was so close to 2 because we farmed in that Lickitung mirror that I was able to push all that energy out and really go for a huge win there. I think that was my best game played of the day, and I think my first game played was the worst game of the day. So, anyways, yeah, that team hit rank 1 again. That was Jacob Bada, Colombian battler. I've put a link to his Twitter in the description below. And yeah, he hit rank 1, 3059, and I think that was on 630. So yeah, great team, pretty known team. I think Annihilape and Lickitung are pretty good together, and so is Cresselia as well. They're all just very good Mon in the meta. No like crazy anti-meta Mon. These are all hard meta, and hard meta gets you wins basically, as long as you play them perfect. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. Hit the like button if you liked it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one.